height restriction, and yet it doesn't look bad because they have, you know, like maybe some nice candles on the outside. And I understand it doesn't look bad, it's not something we can put in the code. But some rewording perhaps, because it's clear, you know, it's clear to me that that's not who we're intending to regulate.
That's
It's
exactly
the
right.
ones.
Bruce and I discussed this, and this is, you know, this is what Bruce and I have talked about. We started left a voicemail on it. There are sections of manicure lawns. The rest of it was less. So, you know, in my wooded area, I've got weeds that stand pretty tall. And this is another thing that we don't want to really go in and start chopping down weeds.
No, the whole front of my property that I live go native is all kinds of things,
Right.
including thistle.
Right.
Well, I have a feeling, you see what I tried to do for those who aren't following this, what I tried to say is that overgrown weeds is not a condition that applies in an area where you have woodlands. We won't look for a violation in a woodland area, and for woodland area I tried to use the definition of it from the Woodland Protection Ordinance. This is going to take a little more time. Probably.
Yeah,
We're going to
it is.
everyone's
It's a
going to
lot
have to
of tweaking.
think through this. Yeah.
Let me ask another question. Going to this issue of standing water in the basement, which we know is a big thing in our village. What's the practical way we approach this? For example, if the building goes, if there's a judgment against the mortgage holder, we don't have the right to go into that building unless the mortgage holder gives us permission, and even then I'm not sure we have the right. Could you explain that?
What do you mean by mortgage holder?
Well, when the building goes into foreclosure, the property goes into foreclosure.
So it's the owner.
But the resident could still be my understanding, or may not be.
No, the only time we have that kind of a problem, from what I understand, is if the building is now vacant and it's in the process of being foreclosed or it is foreclosed. We've got a couple like that. But the ones we have problems with are all vacant. Nobody's living in a house with water in the basement. What happens is some run.
So procedurally, if we see a building that looks like it's vacant, we can go on the public record, find out whether there's a judgment against it. We can go to the holder of the mortgage and ask permission to enter it. Is that procedurally what will happen?
That's one way you could do it. If you can't get in, you can do it. I say, we've had this situation in other towns. If the owner either refuses or the owner is unavailable, you can go to court and get a warrant. The judge will give you a warrant if you have probable cause to believe that there's a health violation or an ordinance violation. And that usually is a result of the neighbor's complaint.
I guess, Rich, you're saying we have a situation right now where there's water in the basement. If we pass this ordinance, what would change? How would we actually get the water out of the basement? It's a problem because without going through what Jack is describing, we're finding that the livers themselves, telling them it's there, are saying that, well, let it stay there a little bit longer. And I think
They don't have the time to deal with it.
No, and one of the, the issue before us is the village has a concern about the housing stock. It's not in our interest to see housing stock molder, and yet, procedurally, how do you address that? I don't understand how we can do it.
Well, if the village is really willing to spend the money to repair or to pump out the water, that's what you do. Historically, at least I don't know how practical that is, but if you want the technical way to do it, that's how you do it.
It would seem sent a very lovely letter to the collector saying, hey guys, we know there's water in this basement, you're not pumping it out, and we're charging $75 or $100 or $200 a day until the work is done, and we are charging you since you are the owner of record of said property. And I think a letter like that received by a bank might get a little action.
Get their attention.
Yeah. Kind of like tweaking their tail a little.
Well,
You know, the other problem is if you just pump out the basement, even if we gain entry, someone's got to turn the electric back on and assume that responsibility because you're going to be pumping out the basement the next time it rains. So that doesn't solve the problem, just the way to pump out the basement. We got to make sure that once it's pumped, it's dry, and some pump is back on, so repairs keeps working.
Well, this is why once we have an ordinance like this, at least we have some teeth to go to the property owners.
Okay, so everybody take this home and look at
Study
it.
it.
Yeah.
Come back with some
Question.
recommendations.
Are some communities charging a permit fee or some kind of a fee on foreclosure? I've read a couple things that in numerous states there, it seems to be they are charging fees to banks on foreclosure.
What would the fee be for? What would trigger the imposition of the fee?
The filing of the foreclosure actually triggers it.
What do you have to show a fee? You have to-
How do you collect the fee on it? For what purpose?
In other words,
There's being done heavily in California and some other other states where they have a larger problem than we have here.
in other words, the act of your filing a foreclosure against property in our village causes us to incur administrative costs, and therefore,
Exactly.
any property is subject to foreclosure.
Something to take a look at if you can research that a bit.
I hadn't heard of
Somewhere to
I've
look.
seen it in California particularly.
I hadn't heard that.
The whole damn state's foreclosed, so yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have comments from the board?
I do. I just wanted to let people know that we have a young adult volunteer, Jonathan Schlesinger.
We'll stay on this,
What?
stay on this subject.
Oh, on this subject?
Yeah.
Okay, I was moving on to a new subject. I have nothing on that.
He's waiting for the board.
Oh, he's going to.
we had a motion for first reading.
We do have a motion.
Did you vote on it?
I've got another question about, in reference to nuisances. These signs on the road, mainly port wine, work available to $25 an hour, make $20,000 a year or a month. I've seen a lot of these right on port wine. Can they be taken down and just automatically thrown away? So if I see one, I can throw it away,
Take
take
them
it
all
down.
Anybody, yes?
Do I get paid for that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, the next thing is trailers. Trailers on property, these small trailers, yay big, red, green, purple, that are in the front of the houses. Are those considered nuisances that need to be covered according to what I've read?
We have a separate ordinance on that.
Okay. Now, you have a separate ordinance. They have to be covered though. They have to be protected.
Right in the back, fenced or covered, right?
All right. Now, the other thing is manure. Horses that we have around here do their doo-doo in the backyard. Now, is it okay for them to keep it in the backyard and pile it up and pile it up and pile it up?
They've got to get rid of it.
It has to be removed. Okay.
You want that, John, too?
No, I don't do manure. I don't do manure or windows.
Or windows with manure.
Is that strictly true for the composting of them?
Strictly true? I mean,
If they're running through a composter?
the nuisance standard,
This is not a composter.
you don't let,
No, just clarification.
you don't let anything, accumulate to a stage where it's
You're
creating an
generating
odor.
noxious